This is another thing that I found out about ancestry DNA, right? This is a third cousin, half third cousin, right? Him right here at the top. I believe he's from Chicago, right? He has on a Bulls cap. I never met him. Um, I was just looking at his origins, and I'm like, we share 1% DNA, right? We share 1% DNA. So I'm thinking, like, how can I know where my second great grandmother is from or my second great grandfather, what have you, right? This is pretty much all you have to do, right? Just look at his numbers. If you have 1% shared with someone, right, that means you have these origins as well. It just didn't pop up in your DNA. And I'm like, I have Bolivia, Peru, but I don't have Mexico. You see what I mean? I have Bolivia, Peru, but I don't have Mexico. He has Mexico at 1%. He also has 1% Germans and Russia. You see what I mean? So when you're looking at your DNA and you see that you have 1% share with a cousin, right? That means you have the same DNA as him. And I don't think people really understand that when they talk about we all come from Africa, right? Which in some cases, like we have ancestry in Africa. But this is where it gets hard to try to figure out, right? How do we know if those ancestors, right, were actually in Africa doing certain civilizations? I mean, think about it. How does someone like him get 1% Mexico? And how does someone like me get 1% Bolivia, Peru? Okay? And we share paternal order. So those are the things you got to think about when you are looking at your family's shared DNA. You share that particular DNA percentage with them. You share it. You see what I mean? So for all of his, right? He's the brown. You see, this is where he's from, right? He's the brown, and I'm the turquoise. I'm the turquoise and green, right? So I guess these two colors are making this color right here. I guess I'm not sure. So that's pretty much it right there. Um, he has more Senegal. Um, but the funny part about it is, okay, I may have more European DNA than him. You see what I mean? I may have more European DNA than him. You know, and that may be because I have more recent ancestors, right, who were European descent. Like I literally have a photo of a grandfather who is of European descent. You know, I literally have a photo, and it's a recent it's a recent DNA exchange. You see, so and I have some cousins, right? In my earlier, like my more recent DNA, like first cousins, not first cousin, but like second cousins, second cousin, and stuff like that, who have no European DNA. They're all African. Like they'll literally be like 26% Nigerian, 16% Ghana, 13% Togo, 3% Cameroon. You know what I'm saying? Like 11% Mali, and then when it gets down to the European numbers, it's like they're just zero. You know, so it's unique, man. That's I want to go through these shared matches again and see where my African people at. You know what I mean? That's what I want to do. I want to see where my African people at. You know? So let me see, who is this? All right. So this person right here, see, this is a perfect example again. This person is 1% Yucatan Peninsula. And you know they black, right? Because they got like 37% Nigerian, 10% Benin and Togo. You know what I mean? So this stuff, like, you know, this stuff is not a game, man. This stuff, it tells you. It tells you. You know? Then they got their family tree right here. You see? It tells you. The stuff is interesting. And then I had another family member, right? Who I saw. Um, Here she go. See what I mean? This is another African cousin, albeit half, but this is another cousin. And this is their DNA. They're 18% Western Bantu. See? And then, right, this the crazy part. When you look at their DNA and you try to find, you know, the European, right? It's only like 3% European. You see? All of this is 0% for them. You see? But look at this. She has less European DNA than me. But I just happen to be darker, right? So who knows, man? Like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know who those people were in my DNA, but how do I got more European DNA and I'm just darker? That doesn't make, I don't know how that calculates. I'm not a scientist by any means, or anything like that, but I would like to know how that happens. You know, she's almost dang near pure African. You know what I'm saying? Look at her last name, Okoro. You see? She got another family member, right? See where he's from. So this is his DNA. You see? 29% Nigerian, 23% Benin and Togo, 14% Western Bantu, 5% Senegal. So it has to be something on the panel, right? The reference panel, where certain targets are not popping up for me, or they just don't have the reference panels in their system or something like that. Because you know I have a high European percentage, very high. There's this guy. I forgot the name of his YouTube. Um, he's like he claims to be indigenous Irish, right? And he's black, so he knows about the people over there. And for some reason, him himself, right? You look at him, you'll be like, oh, he's Senegalese or something like that, right? He blocked me because I said he was Senegalese. I didn't say he was Senegalese. I said he looks Senegalese. But I said I thought he was Senegalese, and he blocked me, right? Um, but he doesn't like Africa for some reason. I don't know why, but he just doesn't like Africa. Um, yeah, but I'm telling you, man, I've never seen the last name like that, Wickham, and he's 1% Ashkenazi Jew. Like we don't know where melanated people come from, man. We really don't know. We really don't know where people come from. We really don't know where people come from. We don't. We don't know where our own cells come from. We don't. We have no idea where we come from, really. Like our history is like so vast. We come in so many different phenotypes. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna look up one more, and I'm gonna close out. I'm gonna look up one more and close out. Okay, so these the newest people, I guess. I'm looking for like a somebody with like an African name or something. But I know I'm looking at this the wrong way. Um, I know I'm looking at this the wrong way because I always wonder, right? How does Africans have the same last names as us? Like I saw somebody from like Kenya who had my last name, and he looked just like my grandfather. That's why I was confused a little bit. I was confused. So this person, right? She's my maternal and cousin. She's 21% Mali, 21% Nigerian. Um, yeah, she's okay. All right, so obviously she's related to my second great grandmother, who I have a picture of. All right. I'm always interested in my maternal side because that's where my that's my Choctaw side, right? Yeah, I want to see who is this. Okay, so this is her DNA. Twa. Okay, 1% Twa. So like when you're looking at this DNA, right? Again, you share 1% with them. So if they're 1% Twa, you can might as well record that in your DNA. You're 1% Twa. You see what I mean? Now when I do my gene U and I match my photo biometrics with the panel, the reference panels on that website, right? It shows that I am Twa. It shows that. It'll say like Twa Australit. It'll say Adam and Eve. It'll say pre-Slavic. Yeah, I'm gonna go check that website out next. I haven't been on there in a minute. Yeah, I would tell people like ancestry DNA is gonna be around a long time. So it would be smart for people to just go ahead and invest in it. Cause there's a lot of people on here and they've invested a lot into it. I talked to him the other day. This is a cousin from my father's side. I talked to him the other day. We had a good conversation. So this is um this is my grandmother. This is my grandfather. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. So I guess this may be a great auntie. I don't want to say yeah, this may be like a great auntie or something. Okay. And this is his DNA. He's 25% Mali, 24% Nigerian, 10% Ghana, 10% Benin. High percentages. High percentages. He kind of looks like what's his name? Um Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, he kind of looks like Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, he was very cordial, very cordial. Um that's that down south. That's that respect, man. That down south. A lot of people in the north not like that though. Like a lot of people in the north are not like that. He was very cordial, very respectful. So these like this was like you could say what the tribe was supposed to be. When you think about like how you say First Nations, all your cousins who you have through shared matches and shared CM, That's your tribe. That's your tribe. So I guess these are like all the new. These are like all the new people. Yeah, my paternal side, you know, they kind of on the fairer side. So you saw it today, like Okuru. That's an African relative. You saw it today. Everybody from the black community is not on that. I hate Africans, and they're not on that. All right. So he 1% Colombian Venezuela, 1% Eastern South America. You see? And you see how he looks. You know? So I don't know. Like people can't be saying we wasn't in America, like, cause there's something going on with that reference panel where all our people are only getting 1% of South America. Is something going on down there? You know? Great peace, Yakoki.